Welcome back to Heroes Next Door. Thank you for joining us for a very special episode of Day in the Life. We're at South Metro, Station 35. We're going to be working with their Red 1, which is their airport rescue. We're heading over to Centennial Airport to do a little bit of training. So let's go take a look. For the next 5 questions, this scenario, we've done plenty of these. What do you mean? Everything except? Nope, wouldn't do that. What? Was that even in my book? Paramedic coach covered that one. Who made this test? Paramedic coach covered that one. Yes, the answer is yes. Paramedic coach covered all of these. My anxiety is through the roof. Dude, you made that thing look so easy. How'd you do that? I have the paramedic coach. What's the paramedic coach? The paramedic coach is the most comprehensive and best valued national registered exam prep that is offered with a lifetime access to any certification level, whether that's EMR, EMT, AEMT, or paramedic. They have 480 plus videos, audio files, practice exam questions, worksheets for learning diseases, emergencies, signs and symptoms. They even have drug cards for EMS drugs. They offer private community groups to ask any questions, and you can also get it on a mobile app. The best thing about this is the paramedic coach is a lifetime access. Can I borrow your computer? I want to sign up right now. You guys need to join me. Don't stress through another test. Make sure you click the first link below in the description and get lifetime access to the paramedic coach. This is awesome. Look at all these videos. It's so easy to navigate. I'm gonna pass every exam. Tell me your guys' name one more time.
Matt.
Matt.
And Corey.
And Corey.
Want me to keep the lights on?
If you could just around the corner a little bit. I don't know if that'll trip your opticom or...
It will. It will.
Okay.
We're going to go up to the airport. We have a designated training area up by the airport.
Okay. What airport are we going to?
Centennial Airport in Centennial, Colorado. Airport code is KAPA. We have a training ground up there that has a couple of old retired fuselages.
Okay.
And that's where we do kind of our operational training for the red units. We do interior fire attack.
So from your station to the airport, how long of a distance is that?
It's about a mile.
Okay.
Our challenge with this truck, I mean, as you can see, it's center steering wheel, so it's designed to be driven on runways and taxiways with center lines for airplanes.
Right.
So that's the reason for the steering wheel to be in the middle. It's a challenge to put yourself in the middle of the lane because we're so accustomed to trained to be in the left side. So everybody kind of wants to, scooch left. So it's something you gotta think about.
So is this mainly designed for the smaller private aircraft versus the international or national aircraft, right?
Yeah, we have everything here. We have the Cessna 150 that every pilot starts in when they go to pilot training, all the way up to like a Gulfstream G650, which is, I mean, they're huge. They look like small airline planes.
Right.
Big.
Right.
So we get some good sized aircraft in, but most of the operations around here are flight school operations.
Okay.
Some of the smaller single engine aircraft, piston driven instead of jet.
So no commercial like American Airlines or Delta or nothing like that.
This is our access point. This is gate 3, so we'll enter here.
So do you have a door code? Do you, like, if it is an emergency, would that just be open?
Yes. Normally, the airport operations folks have this gate open for us.
Okay.
When we show up. But if not, we have a gate opener that gets us in under non-emergency circumstances. So Centennial Airport, I guess to go back a little bit, Centennial Airport is the second busiest general aviation airport in the country.
Wow. Okay.
Based on the amount of operations. When I say operations, I mean, takeoffs and landings.
Right, right.
So this is where we would respond if we were called. We have alert 1, alert 2, and alert 3. So an alert 1 is, a medical flight comes in and it needs to refuel with a patient on board. Normally they're not supposed to have anybody on the aircraft while they're fueling, for fairly obvious reasons.
Yeah.
If that happens, they need a fire standby basically in case they have a mishap and something catches fire while they're fueling with somebody on board. And alert 2 would be an in-flight emergency. That would be smoke in the cockpit, a landing gear indicator that's not correct, hydraulic issue, engine trouble, just anything like that where they're in flight. And then an alert 3 is an actual crash. So that could range anywhere from, you know, a strong gust of wind pushes a small airplane off into the grass, off the runway or the taxiway, or it could be a high impact where, you know, you have
potential fatalities,
crash, fire.
So being such a unique vehicle, driving in the center, almost like it's one of the McLarens that, that you would drive. Yeah. How difficult was it to learn the mirrors and that feel of driving in the center?
I think you can pick it up pretty quickly. You just kind of have to constantly tell yourself, almost. At least I do.
I just check my mirrors a lot more.
Yeah, and it's not. It's when we're on the airport, it's not as big a deal, right? That's why it was designed that way.
Right.
It's when we drive to and from the airport on the city streets
that you tend to go back to your old habits of driving in your truck.
Yeah,
back to the port.
That's when I think about it a little bit more. And you'll notice when we're driving around here, I will try and drive on the center lines, on the taxi, you know, on the ramp center lines.
Okay. Now, one of the things that we've noticed, and actually we just did a video of a used airport truck that they're using now for rescue way up in Hubble, Michigan. We noticed the design of the vehicle is much different than your standard engine. It's got almost a 45-degree angle underneath.
Yep.
Why is that?
These are designed to go off-road. I mean, we have 4x4 capability. We can also lock the differentials. So it's got serious 4x4 capability, and the reason for that is airplane crashes don't always happen on the runway.
Okay.
They happen off the runway on the airport, and then they also happen up, you know, on the bluffs south of the airport is where we.
Right, because a good pilot, if something's going wrong, he's not going to go to where population is. How much water do you actually carry on the unit itself?
It carries 1,500 gallons of water.
Okay.
Yep. There's hydrants on the airport, but they're near the buildings. They're for structural firefighting. They don't have hydrants out on the airfield for aircraft crashes.
Right.
So the idea is that we would have, you know, this unit, and so Red 1 and Red 2 would respond. So that's 3,000 gallons, and then we would have anywhere from 1 to 3 engines, structural engines, respond with us as well in case we needed another couple thousand gallons of water.
Okay. So the training grounds that you guys normally use is way down at the end of the runway, so it's not interfering with any of the operations of a daily airport.
Yeah, we're kind of over in the corner.
So you guys use an MDC to get dispatched, right? And that gives you all your descriptions and
correct
location.
So we got all our calls. So you come in there, you click on the call, gives you all your notes.
Okay.
Of what that would be. And the cool thing about it too is we have a map response.
Oh, okay.
At the airport.
Right.
So now we are facing this way.
Right.
So 35's Red 1 responds right here.
Yeah.
Red 2 responds right here. Sorry, right here.
So that's all your pre-plans on a nice little card.
If it's 1028, Red 2 will go here so we can get those on the runways.
Okay.
Notice that's 1028. Let's do it 1035 left and right, and left and right. So that's the runways. And then the coolest thing too now, as of this week, we have iPads now. We read the information from the MDT.
Right.
And for example, that's my flight. I can click on it.
Okay.
And it'll give me all the specifications of what that. Yeah, it tells us really what the plane's doing. So they're doing a lot of touch and goes.
Okay.
Gives me the information. Now the question is, why is this important? So if I'm reading this, maybe it's a Cessna. We know it's a 2-door or a 1-door. How much fuel it might have. You know, where could we get in? Where's it out by the airport? So let's get a touch and go again.
Right. So it's almost like a live feed pre-plan.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if I'm here first due, we have an initial report. What I'll be saying, what I'll be telling dispatch and talking to port 5.
Okay.
So at least we pride in everybody that's in this organization and or you have information at least.
So I think what we're going to do is once we kind of get everybody kind of parked, we'll kind of rearrange, put some people out, and then we'll kind of start flowing water. Okay. Fair enough?
Yep.
Oh, look at you. You got a nice little camera on you. Perfect.
All right, so we just want to do a quick safety debrief and what the goal of the training today is.
Yeah, we'll go over. So obviously we're going to be in all of our gear. You guys are going to get out full gear. They'll mask up. We're going to practice like we play, right? So today we're going to simulate a 1 ARFF unit response.
Okay.
So usually we have 3 that'll respond, and we've got positions on the 12, the 6, and then whatever our access is into the aircraft, we position another one there. That unit that positions into our egress is usually the one that pulls a hose line. Since today we're only going to do it as 1 unit, we're going to keep them stationary at the 12 o'clock. These guys will get off, they're going to pull a line, we'll go inside and effect a victim rescue.
Okay.
So we'll flow water from our top turret, bottom turret, and then through a hand line. So we're using our red one.
Okay.
So that's one of our new big guys. It's got 1,500 gallons of water.
So this is very similar to the Red 2 that we already saw on your guys' Fleet Fridays. They did a full walk around.
Correct.
So if the viewers are out there and take a look at their Red 2, you'll go complete walk around. Today we're actually doing a training scenario using these fleets. So I appreciate you guys letting us, come out and take a look at this, and we're excited to see what you guys can do.
Yeah, we're excited.
All right.
Always good to train.
All right, let's get on board and let's get this done. So Eric, tell us about what's going on today.
So we are having training at Centennial Airport. South Metro Fire Rescue has 2 different fire stations that provide aircraft fire and rescue. We have a training prop here. So in this particular scenario, they were rolling in on an aircraft that has already crashed and still has a person inside that needs to be rescued. And in this scenario, we're simulating that the aircraft is on fire.
So as Red 1 comes in, they're gonna nose up to it at a 12 o'clock position. And the first thing they want to do is actually hit the turrets.
Most importantly, start pushing any fire and fuel away from the path of people trying to escape and to secure a path for our firefighters to go in and make a rescue.
This apparatus does have other firefighters on it. It looks like a crew of 4. So they're going to get out and have gear because they know a rescue has to be done. Holy cow, look at the flow of that water. Talk about water pressure. That water pressure is absolutely amazing. So at this moment in time, the whole point of that was to cool off the fuselage, put a knockdown of any fire that's going around to make it safer for the interior guys to go on.
While the engineer is doing that or the officer is doing that from the cab, it gives the firefighters an opportunity to pull an attack line. So they have cross lays on these vehicles just like you would see on a standard fire engine. Again, protect that egress and ingress for our crews and for the passengers of the aircraft.
And the one guy has chocks in it. I didn't actually really think about having chocks. This is a vehicle that you're gonna have to secure. So putting chocks underneath the wheels to make sure that this thing doesn't roll down the runway is important. Something that I didn't even think about until I just saw it. It's cool that these guys know how to open all these different kind of aircrafts. Everything's a little bit different, but they take many hours of training over and over. Okay, he's got flow the water. Now, if they needed to bring that hose in, they could do that. Let's see what they're doing here. Are they gonna bring it in? Yep, they're going in with the hose in case there's a fire inside. Now there's one victim that they have already inside that they're gonna have to rescue. Let's see how they do that.
Got a victim!
With this kind of tubular assault of any kind of fire or even a rescue, it can be very difficult. It's very close quarters. Think about if you're on an airplane and how close it is, sitting next to your passenger. This only has one victim at this time, and they're gonna have to pull him out and get him to safety. So they're gonna do chest compressions while the other firefighter is gonna be putting out the fire on the inside, checking for any extension, anything like that.
Absolutely. Everybody has a defined role when we come to these aircraft incidents, and when we have all of the resources here, there's a playbook. And they know exactly where they're gonna park around the incident scene, what the job is, and practice makes perfect. And so that's why we're here doing this today.
Okay, that was actually awesome. So how do you guys feel this went as far as training? Was that a pretty good scenario, pretty realistic scenario?
Absolutely. Yeah, and things will go wrong. Like the hose got, twisted up there.
Yeah.
That's life, that's real life,
Right.
So the ability to adjust and adapt, is huge.
Yeah.
It's never gonna be perfect.
Right. And every scenario is not the same either. So
Right.
you're always gonna make a little adjustments on where you're going.
Absolutely.
Maybe the distance is going to be a little bit different. The terrain is going to be different. So the fact that you guys knew exactly what to do. Going into a fuselage, we know this is a very tight kind of quarters to work in. Sure. It's almost like working down a hallway of a row home. Yep. Do you typically go in with 2 firefighters? Do you bring more? How do you normally work with that?
Well, I'll usually go in to get that water on the fire right away.
Okay.
My partner here will be behind me, supporting by helping push hose in if I need it.
Okay.
You know, the benefit with our hose line and the water supply we have is I can get the whole fuselage from right in here. So
right.
I don't need to go deep necessarily, which I think is a benefit. I can, you know, put a lot of fire out from up here.
Yeah, yeah. You can reach quite a ways.
Yeah.
Some of the context too, to just put a bigger frame picture. See, red one arrives, we are firing the plane, we go find the ground. So we use those turrets. All right, so we got foam, we got water. Idea is to push that fuel, that foam, away from the plane. We have about 30 to 45 seconds for direct impingement of fire to go in. So it's crucial we get that water inside, but we can't get close if we are firing here. So we do that. As you also saw how we set up, we protected this egress.
Yeah.
Chances this door is gonna be out, right, with passengers. We don't wanna hit them with the tourists because I would kill them.
Right.
So they cooled off, they laid foam, we came into our lines. We came in, but you notice first thing, the basics was as firefighters, man, you gotta chuck those wheels.
Yeah.
Without chucking the wheels, man.
There was one thing that I saw when you guys were pulling up, having a chuck. I didn't even think about that. We think about vehicle rescues and vehicle fires. Right. We chock or we stabilize those vehicles. This is essentially a vehicle. It has wheels that it can roll away.
Because we also don't know the pilots, are they incapacitated, right?
Right.
They set the brakes, they release the bottles, you know, things like that. So we secured also for us.
Right.
Right? You notice, I got the door, he got the hose. It could be the other way around, either way, but big point here is we chalked it, basic firefighter skills.
Yeah.
Right? We opened the fuselage, basic firefighter skills, the realizing and knowing types of the leverage we have on doors.
Yeah.
We went in, he puts the fire out. Wasn't the biggest thing we do now is start to do search.
Okay.
Keep in mind you get to a narrow plane like this.
Yeah, with a tubular assault going down the center aisle.
One victim in there, you have a bag. You can see how that can complicate things.
Right.
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 So as I said, it's once you take that fire out, everything goes. But now we still got the smoke elements. Now back to firefighter skills, we messed up too when we came in. We talk about the huge cancer initiative.
Okay.
Whatever's coming out of this plane, man, I don't want to inhale it.
Thank you all for watching today's video of South Metro, Centennial Airport, Station 35. We really appreciate it. We have an entire series coming up with everything from South Metro. So make sure that you hit subscribe, hit notification, smash those like buttons, give us some comments below, and we'll see you again next week.
Back to Here's Next Door. Thank you all for joining us today. Today is a very special episode of a training day. We're working with South Metro, and we're doing their fire.